Okay, we have our front and back dress pieces, our front and back lining with the envelope back opening pockets, elastic, our 2 arm straps, and our neck binding. We're going to start off with our pockets. We're going to flip them, and then we're going to make sure we fold our top part down 1/2 inch wrong sides together. And I just pin as I go. We're going to do the same thing to the other one. Wrong sides together, 1/2 inch down. And pin as we go. And then we'll top stitch the top of our pockets. So now that our pockets are top stitched, we're going to flip it back over, and we are going to fold the shorter side going vertical and the one horizontal. And when we're going to fold it up 1/2 inch, and we're just going to pin on both sides, leaving that one raw edge open still. And I'm just going to pin that top flap with a clip, or you can use another pin, it's your choice. Then we're going to do the same thing to our other pocket. So now that we have those pinned, we're going to move them to the side. And we're going to grab our front dress bodice piece. And we're going to grab our pocket and we're going to line it up with our notches on our dress. That raw edge side goes to the raw edge of the dress, and then I'm just going to take my pins out and put them back in. But I'm also going to clip down that side just so the pocket stays. I just take my pins out and I repin so that the pocket is attached to the dress. We want the wrong side of the pocket touching the right side of the dress so that both right sides are out. And now we're going to do the same thing with the other side, lining up our raw edges with our notches. I always double check that my notches are even, because sometimes fabric can move on you. I'm going to pin that raw edge. And then remove my pins and attach it to the dress. So now that we have those attached, we're going to top stitch just those two sides. So now that we have them top stitched, we're going to take the back part of our dress, our back bodice, we're going to place it right sides together with the front bodice. I'm just going to keep making sure everything lines up, and I'm going to line my shoulders up. I'm going to pin. Do the same thing with the other shoulders, pieces, and pin. And then I'm also going to pin down my sides at this time as well. Now we're going to sew our shoulders and down our sides. So once we have that sewn, we're going to set that aside. And grab our back bodice piece for our lining, and we're going to fold it up 1/2 inch wrong sides together on the bottom. and we're just going to pin along the way. And then we're going to top stitch this down. So now that it's top stitched, we're going to take it and put it aside, and we're going to grab our back bottom lining piece, and we're going to fold it over 1.5 inches and create a casing for our elastic for the envelope back. And then we're just going to pin as we go, making sure we're still over 1.5 inches. And so now that that is pinned, we're going to top stitch the top of it. So now that it's top stitched, we're going to grab our elastic, and I use a clip, or you can use a safety pin, and we're going to thread it through, making sure that we pin it to the side of the bodice so it doesn't just pull all the way through. And I'm just going to make sure that both sides are pinned and that our elastic is all the way through. And I'm going to set it aside. And I'm going to grab our front lining piece and our back top lining piece and place them right sides together. Then we're going to pin at the shoulders. And then we're going to sew our shoulder seams. So now that we have our shoulder seams sewn, we're going to lift up our top piece. We're going to grab our back bottom lining piece, and we're going to line up our sides. We're going to line up our side seams all the way to the elastic on both sides. And then we're going to pin our crotch seam or crotch raw edges together. And now that we have that all pinned, we're going to pull down our top bodice pieces. And we're going to line up starting at the armpit all the way down, and it should cover part of your bottom back piece on both sides. And now you're going to sew down your 2 side seams and your crotch. So once those are sewn, make sure that your elastic is sewn into both side pieces. We're going to grab our bodice and our lining pieces and turn them right sides out. And now that the right side's out, we're going to put our lining inside our dress piece. The right side of our lining should touch the wrong side of our dress. I pin at my shoulder seams just so it stays together while I get my bands ready. Now we're going to set that aside. Now you're going to take your 2 armbands and you're going to fold them right sides together and pin on the side seam or side raw edges on both pieces. And you're going to sew down your side seams. Now that your side seams are sewn, you're going to fold them in half wrong sides together. And then you're going to pull them aside and we're going to grab our dress. And we're going to grab our bands. We're going to find the seam and I'm going to line it up with our armpit seam. And we want right sides together, so your band should be on the outside. We're going to just pin in quarters. And then we're going to do the same thing with the other side. Find our side seam of our band and find our side seam of our dress and then pin it and then pin in quarters. And then we're going to sew in a circle. Now that we have our armband sewn, we're going to pull it aside and we're going to grab our neckband piece and fold it in half, right sides together, and pin on our side seam. And now we're going to sew down our side seam. Now that our side seam is sewn, we are going to fold in half, wrong sides together. And then we're going to move that to the side and grab our dress. And we are going to take the seam of our neckband and place it to the back of our dress, right sides together, and then we're just going to pin in quarters as well. And then we're going to sew our neckband in a circle. So now that our neckband's done, we are going to fold the bottom of our dress up so we can get to our liner. And we are going to fold our liner legs in 1/2 inch wrong sides together and pin so that we can hem our leg holes. And we're going to do that to both of them. Now that both of our leg holes are pinned, we are going to hem both of our leg holes. Now that our leg holes are hemmed, we're going to pull our dress back over our lining. And we are going to do the same thing with our dress. We're going to fold it up 1/2 inch, wrong sides together, and pin all the way around. Now we're going to top stitch the bottom of our dress. And there you have it, the Danika dress.